Hello and welcome to Auspol Explained. I'm your host with a very common name, David. And speaking of common names, what is the most popular name of an Australian Prime Minister? While there's a few interesting and rarer ones like Gough Whitlam or Edmund Barton, there are a few names that repeat themselves. We have, for example, two Malcolms, Malcolm Fraser and Malcolm Turnbull. Others aren't immediately obvious because of, Prime Minister going by a shortened version of their name. Tony Abbott, well, that's just short for Anthony. So Anthony Abbott and Anthony Albanese, or Tony Abbott and Tony Albanese. Both sound weird. Fun fact, both the longest serving Liberal Prime Minister and Labour Prime Minister share the same name. Robert Menzies and Bob, aka Robert Hawke. Billy Hughes and William McMahon, well, that's just two Williams. Easy. I love this game. Pattern recognition is so easy. Joseph Cook and Joseph Lyons are another duo that you probably haven't heard of unless you're interested in history, but of course the thing you're here to learn about, the most common name, the one you've been waiting for, it's John. John Curtin, John McEwen, John Gorton, John Howard. That's four Johns. Or is it? But wait, there is more. Some people don't go by their first names. Ben Chifley's name is actually Joseph. Benedict Chifley. That means that there are three Josephs coming up the rear for a close second. So who else is secretly hiding their first name? Well, Gough Whitlam's first name is actually Edward, which is not nearly as interesting, but doesn't change the rankings. I see why he went with Gough. Shockingly, we're actually going to have to disqualify someone. Malcolm is not a duo, because Malcolm Fraser is actually John Malcolm Fraser, a secret John. Examining the rest of the list further, we see that Chris Watson also doesn't go by his birth name. He was born in Chile, which means that he was originally Johann Christian Tank. But you think that's safe? You think that's different enough? No, because he had to anglicize it when he moved to John Christian Watson. That's right, he has been a John convert. The army of John grows. But wait, if you think you've escaped, we now have 6 primary Johns, but more people could have gone by their middle name. Scott John Morrison, Tony John Abbott, Paul John Keating. It's Johns all the way down. Everywhere you look, hidden Johns. Out of the 31 Prime Ministers we've had thus far, over 19% have been named John. If we include Prime Ministers who have the name John somewhere in their name, then that's 29%. That's more than a quarter of Australian Prime Ministers, and bordering on a third. Also, despite my complaints that I have an incredibly popular and generic name, not a single Prime Minister has the name David anywhere in their name. At all. Come on, like what? I don't want to share it with Edward VIII. Well, it sucks, but I'm gonna have to call my firstborn son John like a lucky charm in the hopes that this will magically make him Prime Minister in 50 years from now. It's the only way. It's the only way. Special mention, by the way, to Sir Earl Page, whose middle name is Christmas. How fun! He fittingly was first elected in December of 1919 and served until December of 1961. What a festive bookend to a political career. But yes, the answer to what is the most common name for an Australian Prime Minister, the answer is John. Next time there's a leadership challenge, I hope that all the Johns in Parliament band together like a Megazord, or like a Mega John, if you will, and assert dominance, not just to become another Prime Minister named John, but also the tallest and most physically powerful Prime Minister we've ever had. No way will this one drown, because they stand 10 feet above the waves. And some say they cannot be killed except by God himself. I look forward to seeing it. And there you have it, a quick shout out to my supporters on Patreon who I like. Do you think they like me back? Anyway, thank you for your support so much, I appreciate it. And to everyone else, follow Auspol Explained on my various socials like Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and podcasting platforms like Spotify. And don't forget to look out you're surrounded by people named John and you don't even know it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.